Well, I guess it's go.
And today, we've got some brand, high five, spanking new Destiny 2 news, courtesy of the Bungie weekly update that has just gone live, revealing official information. And so,
Let's get started.
do you think people should like the video?
Now.
What? A betrayal again! Guys, don't listen to her. She's only 3. She doesn't know what she's talking about. All right. Now, first things first, what's been going on this week with Destiny 2? Well, nothing huge, but a couple of things you absolutely want to know about. First of all, in-game, we have a new portal event modifier for this week, Heavy Weapon Surge. So as you can see right here, it's default on, and for any portal activity, you just do double damage with your heavy weapon. Oh, and on top of that, you also have increased chance to get heavy ammo in those activities. So this is actually huge for anyone who's still farming loot from the portal. If you're still trying to get those Pharaoh-potent armor pieces, one of the best sets in the game, if you're trying to get Pinnacle Ops loot. Remember, Pinnacle Ops has its own separate loot pool, but some of the Pinnacle Ops activities, sections of dungeons and so on, can be a little bit more challenging. Well, nothing shreds a dungeon boss like a heavy weapon doing double damage, guys. So again, if you are trying to farm stuff in the portal, this is a great week to do so. This modifier, even though it's massively beneficial and will make that activity significantly easier, it does not affect your score. So it's not going to take away from your score. And so again, it's easy to get those high scores and get those tier 5 loot pieces this week. All right, now on top of that, a new patch came out. And honestly, nothing absolutely massive, a lot of bug fixes. Couple of things I do want to point out, however. First of all, they actually changed the way the shadow ability mechanic works in the new dungeon, Equilibrium. So this is the mechanic that you need to, activate the switches in the dungeon to stop the second encounter boss from doing its wipe mechanic. So you actually are going to be able to use that much more often. And so that should make the dungeon just in general a bit easier. So definitely keep that in mind. And they also changed some perks that do affect some god rolls. For example, Gutshot Straight no longer is going to increase damage against a divinity bubble. That's very important for the refurbished A499 god roll. Used to involve Gutshot Straight, so keep that in mind, guys. But moving on from there, let's get to the brand new information within the TWID. Now, first of all, guys, Bungie talks about the event that people were questioning if it was even going to happen, and that is the next Arms Week. Now, this is because in a past update, as you guys can see right here, when Bungie laid out some of the stuff that is coming in the, somewhat immediate aftermath of the launch of Renegades, they said January we would have an Arms Week. Well, they barely squeezed that in time, because they say right here, Arms Week is back starting January 27th, which means it's not this upcoming Tuesday, but rather the Tuesday after. So the final Tuesday of January. Again, barely squeezed this one in, and it will go into February. Now, regarding this Arms Week, they say this time it's all about bows. Whether you're trying out some of the legacy bows purchasable from Ada in the shooting range, or trying one of the 2 new event weapons now available to you. This Arms Week is one to remember. In the Crucible, there will be 2 playlists available, Medieval Hardware and Rumble Hardware. Medieval Hardware is a 6v6 PvP match where only bows, glaives, and swords will be permitted. Oh boy, glaives are already a bit of an issue in the Crucible, so that'll be crazy. Both Rumble Hardware and Medieval Hardware will also include the following modifiers. So first of all, volatile mod weapons are enabled, and no abilities or supers will be allowed, weapons only. Then they say hello to the 2 new weapons being added to Arms Week. First of all, the King Orfeo. This is a precision frame arc combat bow. And you can see an image of this new weapon right here because it's already in the database. And some of the interesting perks it can get include Dragonfly, Precision Instrument. It can actually get the Meganeria, which is the precision final blows create an elemental explosion that deals more damage based on the number of precision hits beforehand, as well as jolting feedback. I don't know if we've ever seen that on a bow. Might be crap, but might trigger really quickly. So an interesting weapon. Now, the other new weapon is the Heron. This is an aggressive frame void glaive. Again, you can see an image of what this looks like right here, and this has some juicy void perks. It can get, in the left column, Repulsor Brace for an overshield, in the right column, Destabilizing Rounds, so it can get that wombo combo, it can get Redirection, it can get a Sword Logic, and I believe it's the first glaive to be able to get proximity power, where if targets are nearby, final blows grant melee stat. And since glaives, the glaive melee now counts as a melee, and the melee stat will improve that base glaive damage, that could be really, really juicy. All right, now moving on from there, guys, they also say, and refamiliarize yourself with returning bows, including, so these are going to be all of the old bows that are purchasable at 8-1. Remember, that means similar to other arms weeks, these are not going to be upgraded to the tiering system, so you can't get like a tier 5 of these weapons. But if you never got the original God Roll, this is definitely a way to do so. And any of these weapons that are craftable, you potentially have the chance to get the red borders from these, especially if you have some deep side harmonizers. So here's what's coming back. First of all, the Raconteur from Season of the Lost, I believe. This is going to be a precision frame, a stasis bow. Next up, we have the Whistler's Whim from Trials of Osiris. This is a lightweight kinetic bow. Then we have the Lunulata 4B, which is a lightweight frame stasis bow all the way back from Season 17. The interesting part is that it does have a Viced Stinger, which should improve like the reload speed / fire rate with this weapon. Then we have the Anamnesis, I think. Now, this is from Season 26, I think Season of the Heretic. I played a lot of Nether for this bow, and that's because it is a void lightweight frame, and it can get some really good void rolls. So it can get Dragonfly plus Destabilizing Rounds for the ultimate explosion-causing bow. Now, on top of that, guys, you can also get the Hush. And this was an old Gambit Pinnacle weapon brought back in episode Echoes. It is a precision, a solar frame bow. After that, we have the Lithophobia back from Season 23, guys. And this is going to be a lightweight frame void bow. Next up, we have the Tripwire Canary all the way back from Season 19, which is a lightweight frame arc bow. And what's cool about this is that it has the Ambush Origin trait, which improves range, handling, and damage for the opening shot of your attack. So basically like opening shot, which you can actually get as well as an Origin trait. And then finally, guys, we have the Under Your Skin, which comes all the way back from Season 16. And this is going to be a precision frame void bow, a lot of void bows. But again, the exciting part about this is that, first of all, it's craftable, and it has, in my opinion, one of the best PvE origin traits we've ever gotten, which is Land Tank, which will actually give you increased damage resistance when you get final blows with this weapon. So that's another one to potentially keep an eye on. Now, on top of that, there's also going to be 3 new special volatile mods that only bows can equip. So here they are. First of all, you have Shatter Shafts. Arrows and bolts split into several projectiles after a short distance, turning your bows into, I guess, shotguns? Like, that actually could be nuts, especially if each one of those projectiles carry the effect of the perk the bow has. So imagine it splits into multiple projectiles that all have, what, destabilizing rounds? That could be nutty. Then you have tungsten bowstring. Deals increased damage at the cost of draw time and handling. Releases an elemental explosion matching this weapon when fully drawn. Kinetic weapons released a burst matching your equipped super. That is crazy. I mean, what if you could just one-shot people in the Crucible with that? Again, could be crazy. And then lastly, we have jump shot. Drawing this weapon while in mid-air triggers increased damage, faster draw time, improved target acquisition, and dramatically faster movement speed for a short time until you touch the ground. This effect is activated once per jump and becomes available again after a moment on the ground. What the heck? I mean, okay, that is going to be what everyone is using within the, medieval hardware PvP mode for sure. But moving on from there, the next section is new player guide, recommended path for new players. So they say, once again, we've released a new update to our new player guide for Destiny 2, and they have a link to where you can read it on their website. So overall, I'm glad they're doing this, just having this resource for new players to go to Bungie.net. Specifically, it's like Bungie Help, and then you have a full new player guide of everything you need to know. On the downside, I think they really need to do more in-game, right? You're just starting. You want to get to playing. You don't want to, spend an hour reading an article on an extra website. Like, especially if you're playing on console, like, do you have a second monitor to pull up the new player guide? I guess you have your phone, but still, I think they need to improve the new game experience in-game first and foremost. Now, this is good, but it's just the first step of more steps that need to be made, in my opinion. Moving on from there, they have a section on what's going on in Destiny 2. Literally just kind of what we already talked about with the heavy weapon stuff, but they say we'll be switching the Trials of Osiris map to Pacifica starting tomorrow, Friday, January 16th. The weapon will not change, it's still the Cataphract. Moving on from there, guys, we have the Bungie Foundation Game to Give 2026. So this is a massive fundraising campaign that's going to benefit sick kids, and there's so many donation incentives. If you donate like certain amounts, you get a bunch of in-game rewards, very exclusive emblems, and so on. I am a part of Game to Give. I'm going to go ahead and put my Tiltify link to my campaign in the description. If you're interested, I'm going to be live 100% this weekend where you can donate as well, or tune into one of the so many other fantastic creators who has this campaign live as well. I have a special 2-hour block on January 25th, not this Sunday, next Sunday. I have a bunch of crazy incentives. If we reach a certain amount, I will wax my arms. I got the wax strips from Amazon, guys. That's a real thing. The top goal, I think, right now is I'm going to shave my mustache. I'm not going to shave the whole beard, but I will unironically grab the Manscaped trimmer and shave my mustache on stream if we reach some of those goals. Still adjusting some stuff right now, but yeah, definitely participate in that event. What a fantastic cause. They've already raised like $800,000, which is crazy. And then, guys, the final thing I want to show you is the known issues list. Just going to have it on screen if you want to read it. One thing I will mention is that when some exotic armors are equipped, it is not increasing the new gear armor damage resistance stat when previewing the artifact. And they say this is display only. So if you were thinking that some exotics are glitched and you're like, I can't use this because it's not giving me DR, it's a visual bug, so just keep that in mind. Guys, that's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.